Right, we will now begin the open mic session. The open mic session is designed to provide an opportunity for citizens to express their views on matters of concern to the school committee. The sessions are not designed to encourage debate or lengthy exchange of views, but are to have the committee understand numerous points of view. The committee would appreciate speakers keeping their presentation to 3 minutes in order to accommodate as many people as time permits. The chair reserves the right to limit the number of speakers on the same topic to 3. All speakers must be at least 18 years of age or enrolled in high school in the Lynn Public Schools District and having discussed their views with a student government representative. The chair reserves the right to rule the speaker out of order if they feel that the speaker's comments are personal in nature. If a speaker's comments are directed at a school committee member or a member of school administration in attendance, that member through the chair may address the individual. The sessions will promptly commence 15 minutes prior to the start of the regular school committee meeting. First up, we have Pete Oral. If you could please just state your name and an address. I have a timer here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Pete Oral. I live at 270 Linfield Street. I'll be talking about the TEAMS program. I am an autistic adult, also recovering from a brain injury caused by medication prescribed to me. As someone with multiple non-apparent disabilities, I want better for my son and his peers. The disability community, my son and his peers also deserve better communication. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, next is Lisa Tulipani. Say your name and address, please.
This is Louise Dominique. She's coming with me just for support.
Okay.
My name is Lisa Tulipani. I also live at 270 Linfield Street. Pete is my husband. I never changed my last name because I have 20 different nursing licenses. I am a nationally renowned healthcare logistics expert specializing in review and auditing of healthcare policy. I'm a newly minted member of the Council of Parent Attorneys and Advocates, and the most important role I've ever had. I'm the mother of a child whose life is profoundly impacted by spastic quadriplegic cerebral palsy. I haven't had time to provide feedback about the team's move, and forgive me if I go over 3 minutes. It won't be that long. I just haven't had a time to come and speak. Since the announcement was made about 90-ish days ago, my son has had over 40 outpatient appointments, a planned procedure under anesthesia, an unplanned surgery, 3 emergency room visits, 7 medication changes, and currently he's been hospitalized for the past 9 days. I don't know when he is coming home, as he is required to be with a registered nurse at all times to live. I can rarely attend meetings in the evening. I'm only able to be here tonight because he is hospitalized. I haven't been home in a week. I came home tonight to shower, and we had to wait for traffic to dissipate before we head back to MGH. So lucky for you, I'm here at the school committee meeting waiting for traffic to dissipate. This pattern of illness and hospitalization is common for TEAMS program students. They are the most medically fragile in our community. Some of these children have tracheostomies. Some, like my son, have feeding tubes. Most have mobility issues. Several are wheelchair users. Many of these families do not have a second during the season of respiratory illness. Our kids don't just miss school, they end up intubated in the hospital. Many of us have not had time to even check our emails to gather our thoughts in reply because we are trying to keep our kids alive during the winter months. So I know there's been improvements, but I have to say my piece based on what I know. Lorraine, thank you for giving me some information, and I want to thank Andrea and Sean who have reached out, knowing my situation and for my feedback, but I do feel it needs to be said openly. There were over 50 members of the team's program staff. The parking lot does not accommodate 50 cars. Even if you find satellite parking, have you ever driven a car and tried to turn around in that area? I live right there. I have a minivan. It is impossible. How do you expect school buses to do so? What is going to happen during the extended school year when the boaters and teachers are fighting over spots? When the boaters are pissed off, pardon my French, that their parking lot is filled with school buses? I also want to say something out loud about the safety concern that a few parents brought forward. The special education department in the city found no issue in planning a move to a building that abuts a body of water, which is also remaining a public boat ramp. At the time the move was announced, there was no forethought to talk about fencing. I just want to make it clear that statistically, the #1 cause of death in children with intellectual and developmental disabilities is drowning. This is real. This is real. To plan the move to this property is such an egregious oversight on this body's part, which shows little to no respect for life. And it also informs the public that although this is Autism Acceptance Month, you are woefully unaware. We are caring for our children in a system in a city that is not designed for them. Even according to Vision Lynn, it's not going to be designed for them. There is no mention of moving the TEAMS program, but extensive information about other school improvement projects and new builds. The TEAMS program and disability community aren't even mentioned as a demographic in Vision Lynn. According to your own 2022 report, there are about 14,000 humans in Lynn with disabilities. If you factor that in, 15% of a given population serve as full-time family caregivers or caregivers in a way that prevents them from earning income. That brings the total of the disability community of Lynn to 29,000. When you are in a population of approximately 100,000 people, the math is easy. That's pretty close to a third of the city's population that was not even mentioned in the Vision Lynn planning. There are improvements to the city, and I do applaud you for learning about inclusion, for trying to make a difference. However, updates to City Hall and other public buildings are just being made. Lynn has taken 34 years to comply with federal law, bringing buildings up to date. How long will it be until the TEAMS program students are treated with dignity and included in society? Another 34 years? I also want to say that the FEC2 Lori students, who are also being moved, deserve a plan that is worthy of their humanity.
Thank you so much.
Can I just say a few more minutes? Just a few more things, because then we're going back to Mass General, please.
Okay.
Allow me.
It was a 3-minute limit, and we're 3 minutes over that. So I just, in fairness to everyone that comes through here, I just need to ask you to please start to wrap up.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
I ask you to reconsider the plan to one that does not increase the risk of mortality to this children. Please do a traffic study going through Wyma Square. EMTs, their delay will cause decreased outcomes. I'm wiping down the table because my son has an infection. Thank you for your time. I have statistics and other information available to make your decisions more evidence-based, because it's evident they're not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Is there anyone else wishing to speak at open mic? Anyone else for open mic? Last call for open mic. Thank you. We'll now call to order the 7th regular meeting of the school committee. Roll call, please.
Member Castellanos, absent. Member Dugan,
Present.
Member Gately,
Present.
Member Pena,
Present.
Member Reed,
Present.
Member Savoy,
Present.
Mayor Nicholson.
Present. If you all please rise if you're able for salute to the flag and remain standing for a moment of silence.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence in memory of Patricia Mitchell, former Chief Lunch Aide at Tracy School, April 4th, 2024. Thank you. First item is the minutes.
Make a motion to accept the 6th regular meeting on March 28th, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next is appointments and elections.
Thank you. The first appointment is Stephanie Doucette. She was the interim principal at Thurgood Marshall Middle School. And upon interview of the committee, she was selected unanimously by the committee to be the permanent now principal. So congratulations to Ms. Doucette. The second recommendation for Administrator of Special Education is for Dr. Christina Colella. She was interviewed along with another applicant for the position. There were a total of 12 questions asked of both applicants. Dr. Colella responded to each question in a thorough, explicit manner, which truly exhibited her expertise of special education practices, compliance, and she displayed a level of professionalism that LPS deserves. The committee voted unanimously to recommend Dr. Colella for Administrator of Special Education, and for my recommendation to bring forward to you as the school committee.
Member Gately.
I'd like to make a motion to hire Dr. Christina Colella as the Administrator of Special Education.
Second. Second.
Roll call, please.
Member Castellanos, absent. Member Dugan.
Dr. Christina Colella.
Member Gately.
Dr. Christina Colella.
Member Pena.
Dr. Christina Colella.
Member Reed.
Dr. Christina Colella.
Member Sadowhite.
Dr. Christina Colella.
Mayor Nicholson.
Yes, Dr. Colella. Next item is presentations.
So this evening, we're going to share the summer school programs for 2024, and Noelle Beaulieu, who's our Assistant Director, and Dr. Gardner, the Executive Director of Innovation, will both share in this presentation.
While we're getting set up here, I just wanted to also welcome back our student representative, Dee Dee from Lynn Tech. Welcome back. Great to have you back.
Good afternoon. I'm Noelle Beaulieu, Assistant Director of Extended Learning.
I'm Lynn Gardner, Executive Director of Innovation and Grants Management.
We're here today to provide an overview of the programs that will run this summer. I'll be sharing information about high school credit recovery, acceleration academies, and other programs that have run in the past. Shannon and I will be glad to answer any questions after this brief presentation. Credit recovery will be offered to all rising grade 9 through 12 students. The programs will run at Lynn Classical and Lynn English from July 8th to August 8th, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 11. Last summer, the credit recovery program served just under 350 students. As a result, many students were promoted to the next grade level and remain on track for graduation. Throughout marking period 4, students will be notified by their school counselors as to whether they should attend summer school for credit recovery. The in-district cost to students is a flat fee of $65. Out-of-district students and families can contact me for more information. Acceleration academies are another type of program being offered this summer. LPS recently received a grant for $286,000 to run small acceleration academies for early literacy, ELA, and math at schools identified as needing targeted assistance. The grant guidelines require the use of a variety of assessment data to determine who will be invited to attend the academies at each school. Identified schools can serve up to 10% of the targeted grade level population. The total number of students projected to be invited across the district is approximately 600. The early literacy academies will serve rising kindergartners and first and second graders and are scheduled for a 2-week period from July 8th to July 18th, Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The ELA academies will serve rising 6th and 10th graders and are scheduled for a 2-week period from July 8th to July 18th, Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The math academies will serve rising 6th and rising 10th graders also and are scheduled for a 2-week period from July 22nd to August 1st, Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. There are some additional programs listed here that have been running in the past and will also run this summer. The Learning and Leadership Program at Endicott, the Breed All-Stars Program, the Project Yes Program at Marshall. LVTI will have a summer program. Dream More at Marshall's for from Leap for Education. The College Express and boot camps will run at all 3 high schools. And the GE Girls at MIT program will again run this year for a week in July. And then there'll be the North Shore program for the Frederick Douglass Collegiate Academy. Just some additional information, breakfast and lunch will be served at all programs. And just a note that there are several buildings that are scheduled for maintenance work this summer, and so as a result, we're going to have to shift some of the acceleration academies, and there is currently a relocation plan being established. And that's really all I have. Can I answer any questions?
Member Satterwhite.
Yes.
Thank you for your presentation. I was wondering if we have any protocol or process in place at each school when it comes to staffing.
For the acceleration academies or for all of it? Or
For all of it.
So for the credit recovery programs, it goes mainly by certification and seniority, right? Depending on whether or not, for example, if a staff is working a current program and they apply for the credit recovery or another summer program, then they can get priority if they're properly licensed, and seniority date can play a role in that as well. For the acceleration academies, we will be meeting with April Reed next week or in the coming days, to see if there's anything else. We need to, take a close look at the grant guidelines, and then also just touch base with April Reed to make sure that we're on track.
Okay. And then what are class sizes?
For the acceleration,
Yes, for the acceleration.
10 to 12 students. They're very small, intentionally so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Member Dugan, Member Gailey.
Thank you for the presentation. In terms of the accelerated program for the early literacy, the rising K-2 students, how are those students chosen, or are they? How are those kids chosen for that?
So, the students are chosen. Data will be used.
Okay.
That's also a guideline of the grant, and so I'm going to defer to Michelle Winslow, the AD for reading and early literacy, and also work with, primarily I'll defer to her, but there are also other programs like Springboard that is able to work and is currently in the schools, and they might be an option this summer.
Okay.
And so I'm exploring all options at this point.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yes, there is, data is required
All right.
in order to
And
select the students.
And that's the same for the math middle school program?
For everything,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you.
Member Gailey.
Thank you for your presentation. I'd like to know about the additional programs. I know they're very highly thought of in our community, especially the Endicott Learning, the GE Girls at MIT, and my question is, how do students apply for these?
So for Endicott, the students can apply after receiving a teacher recommendation.
Okay, so they need a teacher
They
recommendation.
do.
Okay.
For the GE Girls at MIT, there is also an application process. I've been working with the grade 6 guidance counselors, where they're rising 7th graders and grade 6 science teachers at the middle schools. And it's also based on teacher recommendation and who they think will be a good fit. It's not necessarily maybe a top-performing student, but certainly just a student who has a love of science and would really thrive in an environment like this.
My niece Grace went to the GE Girls MIT, and she has her master's in engineering from Worcester Polytech.
Oh,
She
nice.
really sparked an interest for her.
Oh, great.
So it's a great program. Thank you. And I hear glowing about Endicott that their children go away for a week to a college. So, thank you.
Reed.
Thanks for the presentation. For credit recovery, is this like a traditional summer school, or is this the online computer-based credit recovery?
So, I am.
So traditional, I know, is a little relative.
No,
but
that's
yeah.
okay. I understand the question. So, last summer, I was able to, observe closely the summer school that was run, both for students who were on a platform called Edgenuity,
Yeah.
right? And so that was asynchronous, and then also students who were on a platform, Schoology, that was, those students were supported more by, the English learners were supported more by the staff in the room. And so this year, I'm hoping to create two sets of cohorts where students on Edgenuity will need perhaps less support, and students who are enrolled in the Schoology courses will receive direct live instruction 4 days a week. And so that hasn't been happening. It has been more self-driven and, kind of a heavy reliance on the computer programs themselves. And I really think that it's important to bring in this live instruction piece, particularly for some of our students who need it the most, frankly. And so I'm trying to separate that, and I'm hoping that's going to be successful for everyone.
Great. Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that. That's kind of was my concern as
Okay.
well, because I know I actually took credit recovery when I was at classical, and I remember it was a long time ago, but it wasn't as robust. And I can imagine the summer it's even tougher for a lot of these students to focus on an asynchronous program. So that's great. Just one other clarification. I know it probably doesn't fall under this umbrella, but there's also a number of special ed programs that run through the summer, a continuation of sort of some of the school year programs too. Just for yeah, exactly. Yeah, just so people at home.
Right. And our ESY program will run as it normally would, and the special, Dr. Colella will be overseeing those.
Yep. Thanks.
Member Pena.
Thank you for the presentation. I just have a simple question. As part of the additional programs for your Breed All Stars and your Project Yes, do you know if we're going to have any therapists? Are we going to be able to staff any therapists for them? Because I know these are peer support groups.
So at this time, I'm not sure. I spoke with Julie Luft this morning, really just first focusing on where will be the best place to move these students, because Breed will be under construction. And so there are some, but in terms of staffing, and I know the program will run. I also have been in contact with Shower Corianti, and she's very excited about it, but also they want to make sure that moving the program will serve everyone.
Yeah.
But
Because Breed's actually one of the schools that's going to be
Right.
having.
Right.
Lenny, historically, yeah, we have clinical support entrenched in both of those programs. The other thing that also happens is that our George Bacchus and Matt Durgan also support those programs during the summer as well, being on site.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for the presentation. We're grateful to
you.
have all these offerings. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks to all the
Thank you.
team that provides them. Next, we have a field trip request for the Thurgood Good Marshall Middle School 8th grade to go to Canopy Lake Park in Salem, New Hampshire on June 10th, 2024. What's the recommendation of the superintendent?
The recommendation is for the school committee to approve these excited Thurgood Marshall Middle School students to go to Salem, New Hampshire.
Is the will of the committee?
Second.
Motion
Make-
to accept.
Great. And then I heard a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh, yeah.
Ayes have it.
Can't be-
Next is a donation of $250 from the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Lynn to our inclusivity program. What's the recognition?
The recommendation is through Mr. Robert Bishop that secured this donation, and it is to accept the $250 from the Boys and Girls Club for the inclusivity programs.
It's a lot of
Motion to
commi-
accept.
Mhm.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Projector set from Peg and Jim Belanger to Aborn.
The recommendations to accept the donation of a projector for the Aborn School.
Motion to accept it.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. $2,000 from Kings Lynn Residence Council to Breed Middle School.
The recommendation is for the school committee to accept the $2,000 on behalf of Breed Middle School.
Motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next is a vote to continue non-participation in school choice next year.
The recommendation is to continue the non-participation of school choice since we have no seats to open for any out-of-district students.
A motion to accept.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Member Castellanos, absent. Member Dugan?
Yes.
Member Gately?
Yes.
Member Pena?
Yes.
Member Reed?
Yes.
Member Satterwhite?
Yes.
Mayor Nicholson?
Yes. And then a vote for the last day of school for this school year to be June 20th as a half-day.
That is the recommendation for June 20th to be a half-day at the school committee as well.
Motion to accept June 20th, half a day is the last day of school.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Member Castellanos, absent. Member Dugan?
Yes.
Member Gately?
Yes.
Member Pena?
Yes.
Member Reed?
Yes.
Member Satterwhite?
Yes.
Mayor Nicholson?
Yes.
And we will post that for students and parents on the website tomorrow. I'm sure they'll be very excited that June 20th is the last day for this school year. Thank you.
Great. Seeing no further business,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Joe. C.
Not that easy about that.